Hey, you guys, welcome to James C. Stark Radio. Thanks for tuning in. Today I have a dear friend of mine from the local scene right here in the house in the secret Stark Cave that only a few people know about. This place is really cool. Anyway, I have a great, wonderful guy with a heart of gold, speaks his mind, sometimes too much, so we're going to try to calm him down today. But ladies and gentlemen, you love him, you know him, Mr. Erik Redmon.
Hello.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm here.
Thanks for coming. Erik, I know you're a nervous wreck because you're on my show now, and you know me, I love to dig, but only for the good stuff.
Okay.
And I know you have done some wonderful things for me lately. You've taken a lot of flack, and we're going to go past all that crap because it's not about that. We're talking about the local scene and how wonderful you've done for it, how wonderful everyone else has jumped in behind us. And, man, you have done some great stuff lately. Man, you have really brought a lot of people together, and I want to thank you for that before we start, just to get that out of the way. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's cool. That's totally cool.
Right on, brother. Now, tell me, where did you get your start as a musician? Where did it come about? What was that first fire that just was lit under your butt? What was it?
Well, I don't know. Do you want to go all the way back?
All the way
like
back. The
childhood?
Yes.
Or?
What was the very first thing? What was that very first memory you can remember? Like, I want to be a musician.
Very first one. I got a recorder at school. They used to hand them out.
Now, really quick. A lot of our listeners don't know what every instrument is, so a recorder.
A recorder is kind of like a clarinet, or maybe even half of a saxophone.
Oh, there you go, like the top part of it. It's
right.
Like flute, clarinet.
It's very small. It's very plastic. It's kind of like a flute that you play as a clarinet.
It's one of the very first instruments you get as a kid in music.
Come on, your parents.
Play the woodwinds or the horns.
Yeah, your parents, they give you wood blocks. They give you a recorder. They give you some sort of whistle or something like that.
Yeah,
as a small child. Well, I got handed a recorder. This goes all the way back to 3rd grade.
If not sooner.
Oh, this was 3rd grade for me.
Okay.
I remember it. I was in Nashville, Tennessee, going to Margaret Allen Elementary School. This was years ago.
Well, it's okay. We don't need to know the year and
my
stuff,
teacher,
but we know that you started
Mrs.
there.
Zare.
Oh, you remember her? That's cool.
Mrs. Zare handed out recorders to all of the students in the class because back in the 80s, music was a big thing in school. It was a very big thing. I had friends that were older than me that lived in my neighborhood that, they were part of the school band. You know what I mean? And the recorder, I don't know. I kind of messed around with it and this and that. And eventually I was able to make some I put a couple notes together because they gave you a book.
Hot cross buns and 3 blind mice and all that fun stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. I was able to actually start making a couple of notes with it.
Not to cut you out, but did you guys finally have that recital for school when you got to get up in front of the audience finally your first time?
For me, that didn't come until junior high.
What did that feel like the first time you got in front of an audience?
Oh my God, I was nervous.
Right?
I was. Band class was what it was, and I got in my trouble. I played with the girls, and one day I got in trouble.
Wait, before we even go into that one, before you get in more trouble, when you played that first concert, what instrument were you playing up there with those guys?
I played clarinet.
You were playing the clarinet by
Yes, I was the only male clarinet player in the entire school.
Right on.
In junior high. And I always got first or second chair.
Very cool.
Now
for you guys that don't understand what that is,
to beat, dude.
Tell me if I'm not wrong here. Well, I know I'm not. Damn it, I was a conductor. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you. first or second chair is an honor in the orchestra. First chair is the best musician in your section. So whether you're in the strings, if you're the violinist in the string section, you're the best violinist, you're in the first chair. That means you're the closest one to the audience. You're the one sitting right in front of them.
Right.
You're the one the audience is going to hear the most.
Right.
Whether they're mic'd off or not, you still have an extra. Let's put it this way. The rest of your section has a microphone. You have your own microphone right on you because you're turned up. You have solos. You have things to do.
Right.
And in every bit, the woodwinds, the horns, everybody has a first player. A lot of us were blessed to have teachers like that were first or second players that went through things like that were really cool. And to be that is wonderful. So for Erik to be in first and second chair going through that, that's really cool because, especially when you're dealing with the girls on there, because
one of the
not to be weird or sexist or nothing, but the girls in the clarinet, man, there's something that goes with those instruments that rocks. They just have
I'll
that
tell
bond.
you this, there's
Like
something
the dudes
with
with the
girls
guitar,
and flutes out
there's
there,
just
too.
a different, I don't know. They all play everything, but I don't know. When then comes those woodwinds, man, they rock them. And that's you guys are going to go right to the toilet with that. Shut up, man. That's not what I mean. They just have a way of making the instrument work.
Well, I'll tell you this. One advantage that I had was my music teacher in junior high. I went to Carson in Mesa. And our music teacher was she had a doctorate. She had an official doctorate. And this lady could actually play every single instrument in the band.
Awesome.
Like, she actually did it for us sometimes. She was like, oh, you say it's impossible? I'm going to show you that it's not impossible.
That's what a wonderful teacher and conductor makes.
And it didn't matter what instrument it was.
Teaching you.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, all I can say about that lady is she was awesome. And she picked me to play clarinet. Originally, I wanted to be a saxophone player. But the school band was completely overloaded and full with saxophone players. So she's like, look, the next best thing to that is the clarinet. And she's like, look, I can put you on alto, I can put you on bass, I can put you on B flat, I can put you on an E flat.
You had to fill that hole, but you jumped in and you did it, so that's cool.
Right.
And you're still a team player. Well, tell me some of your influences. Who's your favorite guitar player or guitar players? I know at your level you have a whole bunch of them.
I have a very wide variety.
Give me just a few.
Do you want local or do you want like international?
No, you tell me. You tell me your influences. Give me like 3 or 4.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I have so many.
Sometimes
I take ideas.
Give me your 4 favorite. Give me your top 3.
Okay, Adam Jones from Tool. Some people won't agree with me here. Some people think that he's a lazy player, but I think that he is an absolute timing genius, especially for a guitar player. If you're a guitar player out there and you can actually play some Tool, then, people are going to respect you.
Who's next?
For me, probably Jerry Cantrell. Jerry Cantrell, he's a very, very wide open player. That guy, he has a bit of a blues style, but he's got a hard rock. He can go metal. He can go fast. He chooses not to, but it's those big, wide open, beautiful chords like he does in Man in the Box. Those big, beautiful, wide open, scream it out chords.
Fill the whole room with those, yes.
Who's
number 3?
Number 3, I'm going to go local, and I'm going to say Christian Lee Vasquez. That guy is an inspiration to me because, you know what? He does the same thing that I do. Every now and again, he goes online, and he'll go live, and he'll post his own personal practice in his bedroom and stuff, and you can see what he's doing and how intricate it is.
Just lets you in there.
Right. I can't play like Christian, but I love him.
No, that's great. That's great fun for him, too.
I love watching him.
Christian from Texas. Just out of curiosity, what's your favorite song of all time? Do you have one that just really appeals to you that...
Well, that depends on what mood I'm in.
There you go.
Do you want like my own personal anthem? Do you want...
Yes, that's the one I want. What's your anthem? I'll tell you mine. It's simple. You tell me yours, I'll tell you mine.
Oh my God, you're probably hell. I'm having problem. What was their name? I know the song.
You can sing it for us.
Was,
Everybody could write in.
This song was
Say,
popular
Eric,
in the
your
late
favorite song, you
90s.
know the name of it? All right. Just kidding.
Well, I haven't listened to it for a little while because I wore it out. You know what I'm saying? But it's still like my go-to song. You know, we're gonna need the internet for this. I have the internet. What is?
Okay, this is awesome. This is
Wi-Fi.
awesome. Eric is literally looking on the internet right now. His face is there. You could tell. He's mouthing the words to his song, but I got him. He's drawn a blank. My total bad. I caught him on that one. It wasn't on the list.
Yes, I'm working.
But I'll tell you what. I understand how that goes. We all have our issues. This is great. Oh, pass it over to Liz.
Well,
You
we
guys,
gotta get
we have a
connected.
guest. No, this is great. While you're sitting here doing your thing because you're having an Eric moment, you guys from now on, instead of brain farts, when we're in the on our scene here, when we're joking around, oh man, I had a brain fart or a senior moment, we're gonna say, dude, I just pulled an Eric. Anyways, Lizzie, honey, how are you doing?
I am fantastic, honey. Thank you.
Liz is here and she's joined us too. And this is Eric's other half, better half, and the one that keeps him in line. God bless her soul. Somebody has to help him. I'm just kidding. He's such a cool kid. I got to say something about you, bud. I know you're busy.
I found it.
No. Okay, good. Hang in there. Hold on really quick before he has it. I just want to say something. He does go off. This interview could take us 3 hours if I let him talk, because any name we bring up or anything, he's going to have an hour story to talk about you, and it's going to be something wonderful. And Eric just has that kind of heart. So just so you guys know, if we could have 3 hours with this, I would love for him to do it, just because he has so many wonderful things to say about everybody. But right now, tonight, I actually talked him into making this show about him because he wanted to talk about everybody. But we need to talk about him a little bit too, because he's a wonderful musician. So anyway, I think Eric's got it. Eric, tell me the name of this tune.
Vanishing Cream
Vanishing Cream
by The Hunger.
by The Hunger. So Vanishing Cream
One
by The
hit
Hunger.
wonder.
That is his go-to. That's your theme song.
Yeah, is it real? Is it you? Are you what I see? Is it him? Am I good? Or is it Vanishing Cream?
Thank God he's a guitar player.
I know, right? I don't do the vocal thing very often.
I'm kidding. You know what? Seriously, though, he does sing some pretty cool background vocals when he's into it. But it's cool. Buddy, tell me something. All that suspense for that song was pretty cool. Look it up, though. That was a one-hit wonder, and it was a really cool song. What are you thinking about before you go on stage and you're playing?
What am I? I have a whole pregame.
Well, let's
That I
hear it.
go
Let's hear
through.
what it is. What is your pregame
You know,
before you do anything?
I'm not stupid. You know, I don't go. I learned a long time ago. You know, when it comes to production, you have to know what you're doing. You have to have a game plan. Okay, you can't just show up somewhere and
No, what I'm getting at, I know the process and stuff, but that's not what I mean. What I mean is like two things. Right before the lights go on, it's a black stage. You just get introduced. The drummer is just getting ready to hit that 4 count on that hi-hat to get you started. What is the last thing going through your head before you hit the first chord of your guitar, before the first song of that show?
Well, again, that varies. It depends on the show. Like when Malicious Melodies did the CD.
Don't give me a freaking hour and a half background. Honest to God, right now the lights are gonna go off. You're gonna hit that first chord. What are you thinking? Am I gonna screw this up? Can I do it? Am I awesome?
Oh, I know I
does it
can
suck?
do
Am
it.
I ready? Do I want to have that crowd? What's going through your head?
I
Right
know
then and
that
there.
I can
Right
do
then
it,
and there.
and right then and there, all I'm looking for is the 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to hear it from the drummer one way or another. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom! Hit the gas. We're now burning out, and let's take the fuck off.
Now, what do you want to give that audience when you're up there?
A drag race. I mean, come on. What's more exciting to watch?
Haha, where
know?
you heading? Where you heading?
We're
Where's the
drag
finish line?
race right to as fast as we can go. and you got to kick it off. You got to get people's attention. I mean, and one way or another, God damn it, I'm going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
I believe you have. I've seen you do it. Oh, man. I love it. I love firing
No,
you
you
up.
hit the gas. You hit the ground running. You take off.
What do you, again, don't give me a 9-year tour on this one. I know I'd love to hear it, but wait. All right. How are you prepping before you get up there?
Usually what I do is I go backstage probably about 15, 20 minutes before we're set to hit the stage. And while we're staged with all of our stuff outside or backstage or wherever we are, I'm back there. I got my guitar on. I'm already practicing. I'm already running through certain problems that I know in certain songs and trying to do my last little bit to say, okay, I got this. And I don't see very many people do that, but I'm one of the ones that I can't go on the stage cold. My hands cannot be cold. I gotta have the blood flow and such. You know what I mean? I gotta have the feeling, I gotta have the blood flow, I gotta have my mindset. I'm already doing it.
Who do you listen to before you go on stage? Even that day, do you have like a certain band or a certain? I mean, I know your theme song, but is there anything else that you do to prep? Like, are you listening to anything heavy?
Like on the way to the shows?
Jazz? Are you listening to ballet, opera? What are you listening to like on the way there?
On the shows?
Before your theme song goes, I know that's the last one that's going to go in. But like, how are you prepping up to that point? What's charging you up?
Usually it's something upbeat. I like stuff that's very upbeat, very happy. I want to be, you know what I mean? I want to arrive happy. It's very upbeat, very happy. It can be anything. It could be Blink 182 to The Offspring to...
Just something that's going to uplift you.
Right.
Sure.
Sure. Something fast. It's got a beat. It gets you in the mood for it.
What's your... on that music level, what's your favorite album of all time? Just tell me what it is. Which one?
Oh, that's easy. That's Enema from Tool.
I knew he was going to go to Tool on that one. I knew he was.
Dude, I tripped acid listening to that whole album one time. No, we had this fucking...
Okay, here's a great question.
It was this weird...
What's better on acid? Tool or Pink Floyd The Wall?
Ooh.
I saw the movie The Wall on acid. I never listened, and the album is on there, of course, but watching the movie...
Question, wasn't it? Yeah, I know, I got it.
Watching the movie was whoa.
It was supposed to be, I think.
What I didn't get to tell you is about, listening to that album, Enema, from 46 and 2, we had this weird little spinny thing. It was about 5 inches in diameter, about the size of a CD, and it had... like chrome and black squares on it, placed in a pattern, and you spun it around really fast like a top on the table.
Okay.
And it produced this wicked-looking rainbow fashion pattern that emitted from it, right? Well, guess what? You add a strobe light to that, and a Tool album... You got
drop a 4-quarter window pane, and you're all good
you got a pretty good acid trip going on there.
Yeah.
At one point, I thought I saw the gates of hell. Okay, so,
That's awesome.
There's a reaon why we only did that once.
Yeah.
You don't come back the same from something like that.
Okay. Okay, so speaking of tripping, let's jump right into the obvious. Tell me about your songwriting process.
My songwriting process. Well, to me, songwriting is actually very easy. It's very organic. It's very natural.
Like shrooms. Or, I'm only kidding. I was just curious. Before we start that, I know a lot of people will go that route to write. A lot of people will go both routes to write. We got the old school people like Morrison and this and that. I know a lot of the things you write really go from a lot of different genres that you cover. And I was just like, your take right now, obviously we're all 420 supporters. Okay?
Absolutely.
We've all been there in the
past. I'm fucking high right now.
Exactly. Yes, he is. On some really good shit too. I'll tell you, he's enjoying this. But does that affect your writing process at all?
No, it opens
does it make
the
you
door.
more creative? Does it?
When I was, let's go back, what, all the way back to 2000 and, let's see, what was it, 2002? Yeah, 2002, when I went into automotive school, my roommate that I had an apartment with, right? He was more of a hippie.
Okay.
Right? So he was always trying to get me to fucking trip acid with him and do shrooms and stuff like this. Well, I didn't trip any acid with him. I did do some shrooms, and what we did with our dining room table was we turned our
table candles,
dining
man.
room
We were making table candles.
We went and we bought a bunch of markers.
Okay.
Right? And so and we sold weed at the time.
Okay.
You
at the time, not anymore.
At the time,
DA, if you're listening,
at the time, I do not sell weed.
Eric has changed his tune. He has his medical card. Everything is legal now. Yes.
That was a college
He's
thing.
an angel. He's a saint now. He goes to church.
Come on, I was making.
He's creating his own religion.
I was making $6 an hour back then. So.
Yeah, right.
Anyway.
Anyways,
the people that came over.
Back to what the hell we're talking about.
The people that came over, they saw
on drugs, not drugs.
They saw what we were doing on that table. And what we were doing was we were creating a big mural. And, this mural turned into a poster-sized thing that we ended up doing on the wall in our apartment. So getting creative is actually quite easy. All you need is the entryway. You need the doorway. And we called our table the doorway to creativity because all you need is a piece of paper and a pen, something to write with, or an instrument.
So here's again. Let's get back. Our creative structure, is it different to write if you're tripping, or buzzing?
Well, absolutely.
Okay, or different if you create by inspiration sober, or by both because inspiration can hit you like that, or is it like more of a muse? You look at a certain person in life that just gives you that inspiration.
Well, I think most musicians understand that, come on, when you're standing around a band practice, right? You're standing around, somebody's just doodling, and then your brain hears it, and you're like, dude, what is that? What is that? You catch on to it. Okay, now it's kind of like the telephone game. Somebody starts with something, somebody else hears it, turns and says, okay, and then somebody else hears it. Okay, now I can see how this is being put together. And by the time you get to the end of the chain, now you have a song, but it wasn't anything like you started out.
Okay, I gotta love this. You have answered our question so awesomely without the detail or answering it at all. Because now we know how his brain works. Okay,
I feed off of other people.
Eric, you just gave us all something. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I've asked an artist the same question a few times now, and even guided him through it. And you see how he's trying to answer me, but his brain is going in 9 million directions at once, and that's how an artist works. And what happens is somehow they hone all those thoughts in at once, and they put it into one thing, and then they put it into another and another and another. But it's hilarious how once you ask him something and they're firing off on the answer, but their brain's taking them somewhere else because they want to give you so many more things because that artsy in them wants to give you detail. Just like a painter has to add that extra color. I love that. I absolutely love it.
This is why a guitar player has to play a song 500 times before he knows how it goes.
We're going to take a quick break, but before we do, Eric, tell us where we can hear some of your music.
Some of the band I'm currently in is called Bitter Allegiance, and we're on Reverb Nation, we're on Spotify, as far as I know we're on iTunes, all that kind of stuff. Two of our favorite songs are Take Time, which is our closer for the show, and a drinking song. Everybody loves drinking.
Absolutely.
It's called 200 Proof.
Cool. Oh, shit, man. We're talking moonshine here, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Okay. My sponsor's looking at me right now. I don't know if you're on the commercial now, if they already did, but we'll be right back in just a moment, you guys. You've been listening to James C. Stark Radio with Erik Redmon and his wonderful, beautiful sidekick over here, Miss Lizzie. I want to say Lizzie Borden. You ought to see her. She's got
Lizzie Beth.
I know, but I want to say Lizzie Borden. She's got that hair thing, that look thing. The only thing she's missing is an axe, but she doesn't have that evil look. She's got that sweet little twinkle that Lizzie has, and I'm like, oh my God, she's gonna axe somebody any minute now. She looks like it's still Halloween. Anyways, it's cool, guys. We'll be right back right after this. Hey guys, welcome back. You're listening to James C. Stark Radio. With me today in the secret studio. Actually, we're
in a cave.
We're in a cave.
I like caves.
We're off South Mountain in a cave. With me today, guys, is our awesome buddy, our local bud, our inspiration, who just doesn't give a shit about what you think because he's still going to speak his mind. He loves us all no matter what. Great musician, Mr. Erik Redmon.
Hello.
Erik, tell us about what are your immediate goals coming up here? What's some future goals?
The immediate goals, I got a couple of goals. A lot of people know me from Malicious Melodies, so there's another Malicious show coming up, and there's a lot of work going into that. So we've just started on that, and with the band Bitter Allegiance, we're looking forward to 2020. We're booking stuff right now, and other than that, and then there's the gathering thing that we'll talk about a little later, maybe.
Well, let's hit it really quick and let's move on really fast, just so we don't start anything. The next gathering of the Minds, which we'll tell them what it's about really quick. It's about all our local musicians, venue owners, promoters, managers, record label owners, everybody to come and join us once every couple months. And what we do is we give our ideas of how we can make the scene better, and that's all. It's not a bitch fest or nothing like that. That's all we do. We just all share our ideas and what will help each other. We cross promote and all that fun stuff. It's going to be when, Erik? January 25th?
Yes.
And tell everybody where it's going to be.
At the Blues.
At the Blues. And what time is that going to be?
The meeting is going to be held from 4 to 6, but this time we're going to hold a show afterwards. We're going to hold the meeting nice and early so that those that want to show up, they can, and they can still make it out to their respective places to play and go and see shows and things like that.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And just in case you're listening 10 years from now, this is going to be in 2020.
Yes.
Or 2020. Yeah, 2020.
It's a magical year.
It's going to be. So tell us, buddy, what... There's so many questions I want to get in at the end here. I'm looking at my list here of our end here. Give me some input on what you would say as far as advice toward the younger bands, the ones that are just starting out, the new kids just getting their first bands together. What should they expect? What should they do? How should they handle things? Give me some input. If they said, Erik, what should I do? I'm in a brand new band. What do I do?
Well, one thing I would say is you have to look at the production as a whole. And just because you're in a band doesn't mean that you need to get out there and play with anybody. You have to play with bands that line up with more along your style and the message that you're trying to bring across. You know what I mean? You can't, like for instance, you can't put a blues band on with a death metal band. It's just not going to work.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, that would be great to talk to for like a young promoter. That's great advice. But like for a band, I'm just getting together. What should I look for in other bandmates? What should I expect? What should we do about just everyday things?
And other bandmates, and if you're trying to get your band really going, then you need to pay attention to certain things, like who shows up to practice and who doesn't. Who's always canceling and who's not. Who's available and who isn't.
When you go through the
everybody
hard times,
has to show up for band practice, and sometimes it is a bitch, and sometimes you're getting yelled at by your woman. Okay? It's just the way it is.
Now, let me ask you this one. You get in there, and you're going to have your arguments and your fights, and a lot of times the quickest thing to say is, fuck you, I quit, or I'm walking away from this, or whatever. when the band's young like that and you're just learning, what's your advice for that? When they're during the heat,
Well, you need to remember,
you can't just walk away. You've got to stick together a little bit.
You can't just walk away. You have something invested into this. You have a lot of time. You have your money invested into this. So you need to understand that just because you disagree with some of your members, okay, sometimes you're going to get outvoted. Bands come down to a vote. You know, it's very democratic how it works. It comes down to a vote, and if you get outvoted, I've had to do it, you swallow it, and you move on. You don't say I quit and throw everything in the garbage. No. You say, okay, I lost this one, but I might win the next one.
Do you think it's how do I phrase this? When it does come down to different challenge, I know chemistry means a lot. Sometimes the chemistry's there, sometimes it's not. If it's not, move on. Don't have hard feelings, and find the chemistry that works. But when you're at a new band, everybody has new ideas. Everyone's fighting and arguing. Again, I'm having a hard time phrasing this. How do you get past the point of I want to write it this way, I want to write it this way? And in my experience, it was always, well, let's just try and see what works. But I've also had the experience of no, it's my way or the highway. How do you get past that?
Well, like I said, it all comes down to a vote. If you have two different ways of playing of a song that can, you know what I mean, of how you're writing it, right? If you have two different ideas and one guy says I want to go this way, the other guy says I want to go that way, then ultimately it comes down to a vote with the band. You know, that's how we've always done it is, look, you know, your way might be good, his way might be equally good, or her way might be equally good.
Yeah, it's like,
you know,
let's all play it everybody's way.
Right, we're going to do it everybody's way, and we're going to try the directions of it, because we have nothing but time anyway.
Speaking of time, we're running out of time, but I have one more question to ask you. Let me find it here. I'm all over the place because I never do this, guys. I really have a questionnaire in front of me, but with Erik, he's a handful. He's like my other child here, trying to keep him down, so I've got to keep online. No, but again, I love him. Erik, make this quick, please, because we're running out of time, buddy. What is your biggest challenge as a musician? It could be anything. You don't have to go back into the financial or anything. You've definitely covered that.
I don't think some people are going to like this answer.
Oh, but don't attack anybody. But tell me.
Attacking anybody, but people know what I'm talking about. My biggest challenge as a musician is, you know what? My musician friends are not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
We're gonna. You know what? Let's stop right there and let's save that for something else because that can go an hour and a half. I
love them to death. I do.
I know where you're going. I
will not go against them.
Let's put it this way. I wouldn't be as harsh as saying they're not doing what they're supposed to do because some of us are limited of what we can do. Okay? Maybe some of them aren't educated, and that's not a diss. They just have been educated in the way that things are happening now.
I agree.
We have an older mentality, which is good.
Gathering.
But hang on, we have to push it up. Exactly. It's the purpose of the gathering is for us to bring our new ideas in and this and that, not to bash and say who's doing what this way and
not bashing
who does what better and
I want
because
that
I'm so sick of hearing that. I'm not even going to respond to anybody's crap with that because that's not what the gathering is for. The gathering is for something very simple, very logical, and very simple. We get together for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to just share our ideas, not to bash each other and say, well, what you did was wrong. No, it's what you did didn't work. Maybe I can help you with this. Maybe you can help me with your idea.
Maybe you can change the idea a little bit. This is what I think might
happen. It's just ideas, you guys. And let me point something out, too. When we first did this, Erik Redmon took a lot of heat for this and did not deserve it. And all he did was ask me...
I went toe-to-toe with Christian Shane's band.
Just stop. Stop now. Stop. We talked about this. I just wanted to clarify something that if we do have a beef about things, please approach me. I'm the one that put that out there because everybody asked me to and then pretended they didn't. They're the ones that did pretend they didn't, and I'm not bashing because you guys, I love you all. But all Erik did was ask me if he could help by putting up a page for it. And then he got bombarded by everything. And you guys know now who came to the meeting that all it is for us to gather and share ideas. That's it, you guys. That's all it is. That's all it is. Period, end. So please, if you have a question about it, come to me and ask me. You guys know I'm cool about it. We're not going to argue or fight. We're going to get to the bottom line. Please don't bash my friends, or Erik especially, because all he did was reach out and try to help like he does with all of you guys. That particular time he asked to help me, and it backfired on him. And I apologize for you, Erik. And
it didn't backfire on me.
It you know what I'm saying? It did. You took a lot of flack for that.
Well, I did.
Had to do it.
I took a lot of flack.
All right. Anyway, we're going off on another subject here. We didn't want to do that, but I just had to make that clear because I'm not going to leave him in the cold. He's my friend. So I hope you guys understand it. Thank you so much for listening tonight, guys. We have a lot more shows coming up in January. It's the end of the year, so we're all stockpiled with a bazillion shows and everything else. The radio show has about 17 new ones lined up for you. Listening to Desert Detonation with me and my partner Terry Babbix as well, please. And check out Sammy Scotland's new show's coming out in January also, guys. You know, she's awesome. She supports all of us, too. Also, I want to thank Larry King for doing everything that she's doing, and Teresa Lamb. You guys are wonderful. And Larry, you were a blessing over at Gypsies the other night. Thank you so much. You guys stay cool and stay tuned in. And hang on, one more thing. All right, you guys, thanks for listening once again. James C. Stark Radio, you're awesome. You guys local, negative, positive or not, you know I love you. Erik, thanks for being my guest tonight. Liz, thanks for joining us and being our referee and keeping us both in line. Erik, you want to take us out?
Yeah, this is Erik Redmon, and you're listening to James C. Stark Radio.
Stay awesome, you guys. Thanks for listening. Peace out.